Okay guys, it's a dreary day, so I apologize for the lighting, but we are getting ready to go to Sprouts. So I wanted to show you all a little snippet of my zero waste shopping bag kit. I also have a blog post on this. I'll be uploading this video obviously to IGTV, so if you're watching this, you're probably watching it on IGTV. So here are some bags that I have bought. So I will link all of these either in the notes section or comment section, or I will also link to my blog post where I linked these. The cool thing about these is they have the tear weight on them. So these are 100% organic cotton. You can see how big this one is. So I can put all sorts of produce in it. They can weigh it, and it just saves a lot of money and time. And now apparently my toddler needs me to change his TV show for the 100th time. I'm right back. And these, which are mesh, which is cool because you can see through them. So the nice thing is you can put produce in these bags and they can see that it's broccoli or apples. There's a little tie here, and then there is a tear weight on these as well. I also in a kit with different sizes, and they've all been really, really helpful. And then I have several different just reusable grocery bags. I got this one from Whole Foods. I just have like an extra little bag in here, and then I have this bigger one. I usually only buy 5 or 6 days worth of groceries at a time, sometimes a full week, and those 3 bags usually cover it all. The nice thing is when you're buying in bulk, you're not rebuying every item every week in bulk. You know what I mean? Like I'll buy a couple that'll last me weeks, so I don't find myself buying tons and tons of groceries at once. Sorry for the toddler. Stay-at-home mom life, right? So these are my wide mouth jars that I use for meat, poultry, fish, all of that. We usually get 2 a week, so I'll get like shrimp in one and boneless chicken breast in another, or ground beef in one. Well, I shouldn't say most stores. Stores like Whole Foods are oftentimes very helpful in this. Some places have weird regulations and rules, but our Whole Foods in Charlotte has let me do this. You just go to the customer service counter and you ask them, and then that way they'll know the official tear weight. So if there's any questioning, they'll know. But the funny thing about it is that, like when you're at the counter, they're gonna weigh it anyways. Like they can tear it in the back too. So I don't know why they make you do that extra step. But get the official tear weight for mine. It's 1.74 pounds each. These are great, these canning jars. Again, these are linked in the blog post that I did about my zero waste grocery shopping. I will try to link them below. I'm still learning IGTV, so hopefully I can put some links or notes there. If not, I will link you to my blog post where you can buy these on Amazon. They're a little spendy, but like I said, I found I only need 2. They're part of my grocery kit. I think it was 26 bucks on Prime. It's a one-time thing. Helps me be zero waste. I can use them for other things too if I want to, but I actually dedicate these 2 to my meat, poultry, protein, and that's all I ever use them for. So I think they're well worth it. We're headed out the door to Sprouts. Sprouts, just as an FYI, this is the only store I've honestly ever seen this at, but they have signs posted everywhere saying like, no video, no cameras, don't take pictures, like it's not allowed. So obviously I don't want to get, I'm going to take a shot of the outside of the store, just so you can have a visual picture for it, and I might even talk about it in the parking lot. I'm not going to do any videoing inside the store. I might snap a couple of pictures, but they just have strict rules on it. I haven't gone to their website to see, but obviously I don't want to upset anybody, so I'm not going to do any filming in there since they don't allow it. But yeah, I don't know, it's something I have to look into why they don't allow it, but I will be sharing once I get back what I bought, how I bought it, what I used, how I saved, etc., etc. So here I'm going to show you the Sprouts app. There's a lot that's available within the Sprouts app. They have digital coupons, grocery delivery. The cool thing is that you have a barcode. You can clip digital coupons, as you can see here. It's very user-friendly and easy to use, and you can save a ton of money. So I highly recommend downloading that. The first opportunity that you can get. I save so much money this way, and so definitely download it if you're thinking about going to Sprouts. You can see all the extra offers that are in there, and it really helps you plan your groceries and just make sure that you have an overall awesome experience and are getting the most bang for your buck when going to Sprouts. So I want to talk a little bit more about the Sprouts grocery experience. So in this video, you, depending on where I'm going to cut this, but you will have seen, or you have already seen in this video, that I showed you kind of the front of the store. I showed you some shots of like the bins or different areas that I buy from. Some of the things that I want to talk about that I love about Sprouts. So one thing that I love is that they have over 300 bulk bins. That includes spices, coffee, nuts, granola, cereal, dried fruit. So there's a lot of stuff, flours, beans, lentils that you can use to cook and bake with. Something that's great is that if you sign up, number one, if you join Sprouts, one of the biggest ways to save is to make sure you have the app. Just like Whole Foods, you scan the app every time you're there. There's different codes you can activate, coupons you can activate for extra savings. They also will put you on the mailing list and you will get notified when things like their bulk goes on sale. I have noticed there's been a pattern that about every couple of weeks, they'll send me an email the day before they do 25% off of all bulk items. I haven't been able to make it because it hasn't worked out for my schedule, but I do know that they do that regularly. So I will try next time they do 25% off bulk to go to the grocery store that particular day if I can make it. So joining the mailing list is key. Getting the app is key. They have lots of digital coupons, as you'll see from my little video. And I have found that if I buy in their bulk sections, I'm able to get a lot of my baking needs and just like dry good needs met, which is really, really wonderful. And it's been amazing to see how much I can save. Like today, for instance, they had their raw almonds, which I use to make almond milk. They had them $4 off per pound, making them $3.99 a pound, y'all. So as you probably can imagine, I stocked up and got a few pounds because I use them to make almond milk and then subsequently almond meal. That is a huge saving. So I don't often stock up that much of something, but if there's a coupon or an extra special deal, those almonds are not going to go bad the way that I store them. So and I'll use them up probably over a month's time, maybe a little bit longer. So huge savings. They do those bulk bin coupons. There's just a lot of ways to save. So I have found that they are very zero waste friendly. You'll actually see some pictures I put up. They've actually started selling cotton organic bags for you to use your bulk goods in. They will take the tear weight off, which is awesome. So that you can buy the types of bags that I bought in sets, but it's good to know that if you forget your bag, they've got them in the bulk section. They're 99 cents. So if you're really committed to zero waste, they've got those options. They also just recently started to carry jars. Go Sprouts. So you can buy clear jars for like some of their wet items, like if you wanted to buy nut butter or honey, or if you wanted to buy olives from like their little bar or whatever, you can do that, which is so awesome that they have those jars there. Obviously, I bring my own, but it's a great thing to know in case you forget, or if you want an extra jar, or if you just don't want to go searching for jars, they have them there. So I have found that they have a very full selection as well in their like their packaged goods. And I just try to look, when I buy packaged goods, I try to look for something that is in glass if I can. Like I needed tomato paste today. I know that I could probably make my tomato paste, but I have to go. Do I have the time? Do I have the energy? I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have this platform that I'm trying to run. I have a lot on my plate. I'm involved in church, all of these things. So for me, making tomato paste is not high up on the priority list. It'll keep for a very long time. And what's awesome is Sprouts had it in a glass jar, so I can recycle that. That's awesome. Way to go, zero waste. So they have a lot of great items I have found like that in glass jars, where I had never seen tomato paste in a glass jar before. It's almost always in a tube when I have found it. So I thought that was just so awesome that they had it in a glass jar. Just things like that. I feel like they're very friendly to zero waste. Also, because they're a farmer's market, a lot of their produce you can just pick up and buy like you would in a farmer's market. Meaning, I can go up to the Brussels sprout section and they have some in plastic baggies, but they also have them open in bins. So I can just take 7 Brussels sprouts if I want to. I can put them in my mesh bags and I'm on my way. So that's really, really awesome. They have a larger selection of produce items like that. Now, when our local farmer's market opens back up, I most likely will get a lot of my produce at the farmer's market because I like to support local and I like to buy that really fresh produce. So I most likely will shift to buying a lot of my produce at the market, especially because they will have more loose produce, at least a little bit more loose produce than Sprouts has, but Sprouts is an amazing option year round. So that's really great. And if you don't feel like going 2 places, understandably so, or don't have the time, they have it there. So I had a really successful trip today. They had a $10 off for every $100 you spend, and I hit my little limit. So I only spent $70 today. I got all my groceries for the week, and stored up goods for like the next few weeks. So I also got like 2 pounds of coffee that'll last us a couple of weeks. I got like a few pounds of the almonds. I got a good amount of cashews that I use for recipes and baking. So that was $70 that was goods for this week, but also for weeks to come. Like, how incredible is that? So normally I would have spent like $80, which is still an awesome amount to spend on groceries for the week. And that includes chicken. I got chicken. One thing I will say about Sprouts is they only have certain things behind the counter. I also have not tried to use my jars there. I have only done that at Whole Foods, and I've been very successful. So they allow me to put the meat behind the counter in jars. So I may buy my meat from Whole Foods because they're very friendly with the zero waste situation there, and they have more options and things that I like to buy in terms of their like meat and produce counter compared to Sprouts. Sprouts has a great selection, but a lot of it is already wrapped up in plastic and styrofoam and all of that. So if I'm wanting to avoid that, I will go to Whole Foods. But it's nice to know, you know, they've got a good selection of organic and things like that if I do need it. So highly recommend Sprouts Farmers Market. It is a, I want to say, national brand. I don't know how many are in how many states. If there's one near you though, I highly recommend going. If you are a Charlotte local, it is a must go to. One thing I want to address is that I think a lot of people will say they will brush it off for, oh, it's 45 minutes away from me, or it's just too far, I don't want to do it, it's not realistic. Here's the thing, hear me out. I understand, but if you are wanting to go zero waste or less waste, and you are wanting to save a lot of money by bulk buying, it is your spot in Charlotte. Whole Foods doesn't have nearly as many items offered in their bins. They have an okay selection, but not nearly as much. And their produce is almost all wrapped up. They have certain things that you can buy singularly, but I've noticed that there are a lot of things that I've wanted to buy at Whole Foods, just one by one, and you can't, like mushrooms. All their mushrooms are wrapped up. So if you're wanting to save a lot of money and you're wanting to buy more in bulk, it's really the go-to spot. I understand if you're not close to Valentine, but hear me out. This is what I would suggest to you as an option, something to think about. Bulk buying goods are in bins and they last a long time. Dried beans, forever. You know, rice, forever. Like, there's so many things that last so long as you store them correctly. So I would highly suggest, if you want to bulk buy, make a trip once a month. You could totally buy your dry goods for a month at a time. And you can go once a month, you know what I mean? You can go twice a month. So it might be too much for you in terms of the drive to go every single week, understandable. But don't give up. Like, don't say, oh, Sprouts is 45 minutes or an hour away from me, so I'm not gonna do it. Think about going once a month. I think that's totally doable. And as long as you have big enough containers to store 4 pounds of coffee if you need to, I understand if that's hard, think about going twice a month. If it saved you, if someone said to you, you can save $300 a month in your grocery bill by going to Sprouts once a month, wouldn't you wanna do it, or at least try it out? So that's my encouragement to you. Going zero waste takes effort. Saving money takes effort. It always does. So I just would encourage you, don't say to yourself, this isn't an option for me because it's 45 minutes away or an hour away. I have an aunt who lives in a very remote part of Idaho, and they have to drive 2 hours to get to any sort of like chain grocery store. And they just go like once a month. And I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? You might live in a really rural area. You might be an hour and a half from Sprouts, but like maybe it's because you're in a super rural area. Like, think about going once a month. Think about going once every other month and stocking up if you have a huge pantry. We just don't have the space for that, or else I would probably go less. So just think about it. I want to encourage you to try it out. I hope this video is helpful to you. Leave me comments, DM me. I'm always happy to answer any comment on my posts, whatever it might be, and I'm so happy to answer any other questions you might have.
I really hope you enjoyed my review of Sprouts. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to DM me, email me, comment on one of my posts, and I really hope to get some feedback on you all from whether or not you liked this video so that I can continue to do more of these if you find them helpful. Thanks, guys.